Hey guys, welcome to my channel BitGlenn. My name's Glenn and I like to share with you what I learn in the world of cryptocurrency as I go through it. So over the last few days there's been huge news that's come out from Cryptocom. They're actually burning and getting rid of all of the MCO token that we've all come to know and love. But what does this mean for you and me, and how can we best benefit from this? And there's a couple of things that I haven't been too happy with from Crypto.com, so I'm actually going to go into what I feel are the pros and cons of this Crypto.com's swap feature that they're now bringing in, and how this affects you and me and how we can best utilize this time. So let's get right into today's video. So before we get into today's main topic of the video, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's been smashing the like button and also subscribing to the channel. I did a live video talking about the MCO Burn, and I was walking my dog across a windy beach up and down sand dunes, so I was getting out of breath. So not the best combination for creating YouTube content, especially not very good sound quality. But saying that, I got over 1100 views on that video within the space of like a day, and there's almost 100 likes on that video. So it just shows that you guys are liking that content. Although I only done a small amount of research, I was just giving my opinions straight off the bat of what I thought was happening and why they were doing it. Since then I've come back. Now I'm back in the crypto shed. I've actually had a bit of a time to read, digest, watch some videos, get some opinions, talk to some people about what is happening and why it is happening. So we're going to be talking about that into today's video, but please don't stop there. I want you to keep smashing that like button for me. Hopefully we can get over 100 likes in one video. That would be awesome. And also I want to say big thank you to all the new subscribers. We're at 2,450 subscribers now, so we're almost at the 2,500 mark. I said when we hit 2,000, I hope by the end of this year we hit 3,000, but it seems like it's going to happen probably within the next month or so if I keep producing content that you guys like. So thank you very much for that. If you are new to this channel, click the little bell notification and you'll get a little notified message when I do go live. I do tend to go live very just off the cuff when I've got free time, so I don't give too much warning and I don't do preset time. So anyway, if you want to message me privately, you can through Twitter, which is just at BitGlenn. Or you can join the Team BitGlenn group chat where there's just chat about cryptocurrencies, no shilling, no scams. It's just me and the guys that have been following my channel since day one, all talking cryptocurrency. And you can find them Team BitGlenn. That's enough of me shilling my social medias and my YouTube channel. Let's get into the topic of the video. So, Crypto.com come out and announced that they were going to burn all the MCO tokens. So as of, I believe, in the next 2.5-3 months, the MCO token will be deemed null and void, defunct project, no more coin, no more blockchain, no more ERC20 token. Everything is going over to the CRO token. Now, if you're new to this and you're thinking, what the hell is he talking about? I'm just going to give a quick overview of what the two tokens were. Crypto.com originally started off as a company called Monaco Coin, and their abbreviated token was MCO. And now that was an ERC20 token, and it was an ICO that ran back in sort of 2017. They raised loads of money from it, from people like you and me buying into the ICO fad that ran at that time, and they raised a huge amount of money and they went on to develop the card features, the metal cards where you can get cashback rewards that we know and love today. But what has happened, I believe, over the last couple of years is that the regulatory bodies they're coming to terms with what is a security and what isn't a security. And as the things move and shift about, I believe that this is one of the first projects that have done this, but I don't think it's going to be the last. I think we're going to see many projects that have all the best intention in the world of not being scammy, not trying to stitch over their followers. But how do you make a jump from one coin to another? How do you essentially just defunk your whole currency? Now, I've been looking into doing my own cryptocurrency project, and I've been looking into creating an ERC20 token so I can raise funds for a property venture. If you watch my channel, you may know that I also invest in properties, stocks and shares, and cryptocurrencies, and I've tried to document those as I go through it. So another reason for you to click the subscribe button. But I started reading into, if I was to do that, what would I be liable for? Now, if I was to do this in certain countries, it wouldn't be a problem at all. But if I was to raise funds for an ERC20 fundraising event, whether that's deemed an ICO or whatever, you are actually liable as a security in America because you're offering a token or a share or something that is tied to something that should return profits in the future. Now, when you raise funds in this way, if you offer this to people in the United States of America, there's certain regulatory requirements that you need to raise funds for a startup company which offer a profit later down the line or intend to increase profit share. And one of those is that you only offer it to investors that are accredited investors. So they have to pass some sort of license to be able to go and judge whether a new company, a new startup is worth investing in. So they're educated from that point of view. But also you have to have a net worth of something like over $2 million. Now that rules out most of the world. So most of the world wouldn't be able to invest in a new venture like that. One of the ways to get around this is with an ICO. Now at the time, ICOs were a fad, they were craze, a lot of people bought into them, and MCO was one of those. But now obviously they're becoming a bigger and bigger company and they're offering more and more services around the world. Now they offer this card in the United States of America, but they also have their Cryptocom exchange, and they're trying to become more regulated. They want to be seen as a company just like any other company that has started up in America. But what the regulatory bodies are saying is, well, look, the way that you raised your funds didn't adhere to our securities policy, which means we're going to slap you with a huge fine, or we're going to stop you trading within our borders. So therefore, these companies now have to look, right, how can we get around this? How can we be deemed not a security or to be committing security fraud at the time we raised funds when we started this cryptocurrency project? We didn't know that this was going to happen. We didn't know what their view was going to be in sort of 3 years down the line. So therefore, I think that there's going to be more than just Crypto.com that are going to face this struggle. MCO, what they've decided to do is they've decided to swap their MCO coin for CRO token. And they're going to move all of their features and benefits over to the CRO token. Now, why is CRO token different? Well, CRO wasn't an ICO. They didn't raise funds in an ICO for the CRO token. So that won't be deemed a security. So when you make your exchange from MCO to CRO, essentially you're just trading your coins at that point, just like you would on an exchange. Now, this hopefully will get them over the regulatory requirements of being deemed a security or not. The way that Chris, the CEO over at Crypto.com, explained it was Bitcoin is over here and everything else is over here in terms of the regulatory body's views. And they want to try and make that jump over to the regulatory side. So they're now trying to think of a creative way of trying to do that. Whether it will succeed or not, I don't know. And if it does, I can imagine CRO doing very well. So now we understand why, but does that mean it's fair? And are they trustworthy enough? So I've been looking into CRO, and the way that they've gone about this swap, I don't like. I have to admit, let's go over to my screen share. This is their Twitter page. This is the Crypto.com Twitter feed. And this is how they announced it to people. Announcing the MCO Swap program. MCO and CRO utility combined ahead of the mainnet launch. Swap available only through the Cryptocom app. A 20% bonus for swaps completed by the 2nd of September. As of recording this video, it is currently the 6th of August. The swap rate will be 1 MCO for 33 CRO, including a 20% bonus. So they released it almost as if it's like a perk, a bonus, like oh cool, I'm going to get something really cool out of this. But when you actually read the statement, I've come over to their announcement page, and the way that they've worded it here is that they're doing you a favour. They're helping you out. They're looking after you. That's the sort of terminology that they're doing here, and I didn't quite like it, the way that they just sprung it on people. Now, what I would have respected more is if they'd come out and said, look, we want to be regulated so we can offer all of our services anywhere around the world, and our coins will be safe from scrutiny later down the line, and we can't be sued at that point. To do this, we feel the best way forward is if we actually get rid of the MCO token and convert it to CRO. If you would like to take part in that, let us know, or have a vote or something like that. But no, obviously they're a centralized party, they're an exchange, they can do what they want when they want with their token. And this is a lesson that we have seen time and time again in the world of cryptocurrency. You see a lot of people very skeptical about cryptocurrencies in the community, and they have every right to be. That's because stuff like this happens. Now let's just say you really believed in MCO and you honestly thought it was going to go to the moon. Well, it's not. They're getting rid of it, and you have no say in it. You have no right to bring it up with them. Now, you can try and sue them, but this is where they try and counter that. If you make this swap, you are swapping 1 MCO for 27 CRO tokens. Now, the way that they've worked this out is they've taken what the exchange rate for 1 MCO for CRO was over the space of 30 days. So they're given a full month worth of trading data and what the average price was, and that is the price they're going to give you. Now, on top of that, if you do it before September the 2nd, you are actually given a 20% bonus on top. So you will actually receive 33 CRO for every MCO that you swap over. So you might think, great, I'm going to receive more CRO tokens than I would have got if I had just kept the MCO and swapped it for US dollar equivalent. But you are surrendering certain rights when you do this. Once you do this swap, you are committing to their terms and conditions, and one of those terms and conditions state that you can't sue these for gross misconduct or the way they've gone about this later down the line. So that ability for you is being taken away. So I suggest you really think about that before you do the swap. Also, when you do the swap, a lot of people have been messaging me saying, Glenn, what about the coins that I have staked? What about the coins that I've staked for the card? Well, when you swap your tokens for MCO to CRO, your coins will be restaked for you for another length of time. So they're not just honouring the original time that you had left, you're restaking again for another 6 months or so. So you're actually prolonging when you can actually cash these tokens out. So bear that in mind as well. You may just want to sell your MCO through an exchange and just get your money outright. So there's a couple of things that you want to take into account there. Now, some of you have messaged me and said, Glenn, I've already done it. It was a very simple, very clean process, and I've actually started the process myself, and it does seem pretty simple and fair, to be honest. Now, if we have a look at the price of what an MCO was versus CRO at the time, before they made this announcement, the MCO token was dipping just below $4. So just to make this simple maths, we're going to base the price of MCO on $4 US worth. So if we was to exchange 1 MCO for $4, and we do $4 divided by 16.2 cents, you would actually receive an exchange rate at that point in time of 24 MCO. You would actually receive 24 CRO for every MCO. So already their exchange rate is slightly better, but then they're giving you plus a 20% bonus on top. So according to my maths, as of that point in time, you should receive 29 CRO tokens for every MCO. But obviously they're giving more than that. They're giving you 33 point something. So I think they're being fair with this. They're giving you an honest rate of what you would get for your MCO versus CRO tokens. Now, in the community, they kicked up a fuss. They said, well, this is a massive inconvenience and really you should offer us more. And a figure that was being touted was 100 CRO for every MCO, which means you'd be receiving 4 times that amount. I think they've done the right thing by the people that want to convert their MCO for CRO. I'm not too happy with the restaking that they're saying you have to do. I think that's a bit unfair. I think really they should honour the original days of the stakes for the MCO and carry them on. Or they should just say, look, actually, you don't have to stake again through us, and give people the opportunity to get out of CRO token if they choose to. But hey ho, what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber. One of the other things that the community really kicked up about was they said, well, what about the staking to receive the card? So to get this card, I originally bought and staked 50 MCO, which at the time cost me about $240 because the price of MCO was sort of $5.50 at the time. But with the new cards, with the new scheme, obviously you're going to have to stake CRO. So I have here a screenshot of the original email they sent out. Let me try and zoom into this for you guys. And you can see here that they were talking about changing it from 50 MCO to 5,000 CRO. So let's have a little look at what that is in comparison. So 50 MCO times $4 equates to $200 worth. If we divide that by 0.162, because that's how much CRO is worth at the moment, that actually means you should stake 1,234 CRO. But as you can see here, it's 5,000. 5,000. So that's almost 5 times more. So let's have a little workout. So 5,000 times 0.16. It's actually $820. It's actually $810 worth of CRO you'd have to stake just to get the same card that a month before, due to no fault of your own, would only cost you $200. Now, when you actually stake these coins for these cards, you have to keep them staked. You sign up to an initial period of 3 to 6 months, but you have to also keep staking a certain amount of MCO, otherwise they can lower the card that you've got. So if the one that's below this is the plastic blue card where it offers no benefits really, if I didn't stake the 50 MCO, I would lose this card and they'd send me out a new one. I assume that's how the process works. Now they're saying to get that same benefit, I'd have to stake $810 worth of CRO. So this is huge. And if you go up the list, you can see they go up in multiples of 10. So to get the Jade Indigo card, which is the green one, you then would have to stake $8,000 worth. And to go up from there, from the Icy White or the Rose Gold one, you then have to stake $80,000 worth. And to get up to the Obsidian Black one, you'd have to stake 800,000, which is just under $1 million. $1 million worth just to get a card, a debit card. So this is crazy. So the community kicked up a stink. They had a very vocalized conversation with Crypto.com as a whole, and the next day they decided to revise these figures, and now they're a lot lower. So if you remember, 50 MCO works out to 1,250 CRO. Well, now you only need to stake 1,000 CRO, so that's actually less. So it's now cheaper to get one of these cards than it has ever been before. Now, 1,000 CRO tokens works out to be $162, which from the initial $200 is a nice saving of $40. So it's now cheaper to get this card than it ever has been before. If you do use people's referral link, like I have one in the description down below, if you sign up to one of these cards, you actually receive $50 worth of CRO tokens when you sign up and stake the 1,000 CRO. Now, $50 worth of CRO, $50 worth of CRO is actually 308 CRO tokens. So if you use the referral link in the description down below and sign up to one of these cards, then you would actually have to stake 1,000 CRO. Well, you're going to receive 308 of those, so really it's only actually costing you 700 CRO tokens. That's something to bear in mind. You don't have to use that link. You can just sign up for Crypto.com separately, but you won't receive that $50, so it's entirely up to you. So now the cards are all cheaper than they've ever been to get into before. So if we work our way up, even the Obsidian Black one is now $162,000, which is under the original $250,000 that I remember when I was looking into getting one. So it's now cheaper to get any of these cards than it ever has been before. I actually have about 120 MCO tokens throughout the different levels of platform in the ecosystem. So if I converted my MCOs into CROs, I could actually upgrade my card and get the Jade/Indigo card if I wanted to. So this is really good news for people that really enjoy using the card, who get the full maximum benefits out of the card. I know I do. And with the 10% rewards that they're giving at the moment, you can't beat it. You can't get any other credit or debit card that offer what MCO are offering. So it can be really powerful. So going forward, hopefully Crypto.com won't be deemed a security. Also, it makes it a lot simpler process for people that are joining. If you imagine when Bitcoin hits its all-time high and starts going on a bull run, and people start thinking, yeah, but can you actually spend it? Can you actually cash out? Those are the sort of questions that will pop up. Well, people will be able to say, yes, you can, with the MCO card, or Crypto.com card, as MCO will be gone. And their token that is associated with their platform is just CRO. That's it. That is it. CRO is for the exchange, it's for the card, you receive CRO token. And if we look at CRO, it's actually quite cheap. Now, looking back at the last bull run that we had, coins that were cheap at the time, like XRP and Litecoin, they did really well because people will get involved and say, oh, Bitcoin's $30,000, I can't afford that. They won't understand that actually it can be devised into 0.18 decimal places. So they will look for cheap altcoins, and obviously CRO is actually now offering something that no other card is offering at this point in time. And they'll say, oh God, that's only 16 cents. Oh, I can buy 300 of them. So I can see the price of this coin going up, and that will be the only coin in the Crypto.com sphere. But the cons that I'm talking about today is I don't like the way they've gone about it. I also don't like the fact that the MCO price has skyrocketed within one candle. If we have a look at the price of MCO, now a lot of people, including myself, and this is the only reason I know this, we now know that we're going to receive a rate of, for every one MCO, 33 CRO. So 33 times 0.162, we are going to receive $5.34 worth of cryptocurrency for our MCO. We'll look at the price of MCO right now, $5.35. Now, I admit that when this pump happened, I did think, oh, maybe I should buy MCO because then I can exchange it for a better rate at a later date, leading up to the deadline of September the 2nd. But I just find it odd that the price hasn't really fluctuated. It shot up and it stayed up and it stayed there. The only time it goes down is if the price of CRO goes down, and then you're actually getting the exact same exchange ratio. So it seems like it's being manipulated so that you can't arbitrage and try and buy MCO and take profits through Crypto.com, which I think is a bit shady. I have no evidence to back that up with. Maybe it is just people trading, maybe Crypto.com have no input in this at all, but I would have expected a cryptocurrency that is being told that it's going to be deemed worthless in the next 3 months to really tank in price. So the fact that it has stayed exactly to the cent of what it would be to exchange for CRO tokens, I find that a bit odd. I don't know about you guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. I don't like the way that Crypto.com have gone about it. I don't like the way that they just sprung it on people, and I don't like the way they tried to make it seem like that they were doing us a favour. So there's some points there. I'm not actually affiliated with Crypto.com. I don't work for them. They've never sponsored a video from me. The only thing is that there is a link in the description down below. If you sign up to one of these cards and use my link, I also get the same bonus that you get, the $50 worth of cryptocurrency for you guys signing up. So I feel I can talk quite openly about it. So what do you guys think? I'd love to hear your feedback. Do you like the way that Crypto.com have handled this? Do you think it's a little bit shady? Do you think the price of MCO is being manipulated so that people can't arbitrage against it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, a few days after this Twitter, there was actually an AMA, which is a Ask Me Anything, with Chris Muskansky. I don't know how to pronounce his surname, so I do apologise, Chris. But he actually came out and basically said what I've shared with you today. There is a link to this in my Telegram group chat, which is Team BitGlen. I found this through there. So if you want to go and find that, you can, and watch the whole thing. But essentially, it's a lot of people asking him what's going on with the swap, what's going on with the stakes, what exchange rate should I get, will we not get a better exchange rate if we wait? So I won't play the whole thing for you, but he sort of outlines here, we want to be regulated, we want to be seen by the regulatory bodies, I assume in America, as doing the right thing and not committing any security fraud. So what we're going to do is we're going to completely get rid of MCO, but we know we can't do that without really hurting the community. So they're offering this swap feature, and like I've said, if you do commit this swap feature by September the 2nd, you are forfeiting your right to sue the company for allowing you to invest in the company even though you wasn't a credited investor. So just bear that in mind. There are some benefits to CRO. Obviously they offer great staking rewards. You can actually get lower fees on their exchange if you're exchanging a lot. So I quite like the CRO token, and I see big things for it going forward. And you guys may know that obviously I have holdings of these tokens. So this is my wallet that I have with Crypto.com. If I go to my balances, you can see that my largest holding on here is CRO. I've staked over 10,000, and I've been taking part in all of the syndicate events so that I essentially get free money for doing that. But even that, now they're changing the way that you take part in the syndicate events because they're so heavily oversubscribed. They're now saying, people that actually trade on our platform, they qualify for the syndicate event, not people that just own the CRO tokens. So again, another sort of shot with a shotgun, if you like. I don't like that. To me, the way that they've just sprung that on us, doesn't seem to be any press releases for it or anything on Twitter. But now to take part in their syndicate events, you have to start trading a certain amount per month, so you have to really be on it and start trading cryptocurrencies through their platform, which sort of makes sense. They want to drive up the adoption of their exchange. I do get it, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. So I don't know, what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you. That's really it from me, guys. I'm going to be keeping an eye on the MCO price. If the MCO price does dip, I'm going to be buying some and then just swapping it for CRO with the 20% bonus. I'm hoping something like that happens between now and the 2nd of September. But over the last few days that I've been watching it, it has stayed consistently the same price versus CRO. So that's a little bit disappointing, and I feel like there's something going on there. And if something smells off, then you tend to not eat it. So what I will be doing is I will actually be taking some profits out of Crypto.com and moving them into Bitcoin, because I think Bitcoin is now set for a bull cycle. and I think the price of Bitcoin is going to outperform any other altcoin out there. So I'm actually going to be taking profits from this. The same with you guys. I have certain amounts staked. I can't do anything with this 10,600 staked CRO tokens. I can only play about with the 1,000 that I have here. If I make the exchange with the swap, obviously I'll have more CRO tokens, but I'm not doing that just yet. Through the app, it seems quite user friendly. It correlates all the cryptos, MCOs that you have across the different sections of Crypto.com, puts them all into one place and says, right, you have this many MCO with the exchange rate of 33 CRO per MCO. You will receive this amount. Do you want to go ahead? And you click yes, and it will make the exchange for you. I haven't done that process yet. I want to leave it and see what happens. But some people have rushed out and done it as soon as they could, which is understandable why. So I'd love to hear all your thoughts. Please message me. Please comment down below. If you do want to sign up for one of these cards, use the link in the description. And really, that's it from me, guys. Message me if you think this is all a positive. If you think this is going to push Crypto.com to that next level. If you think that actually this is going to make them regulated, and once that happens, the price is going to go up. More people are going to jump on board. The exchange services can be offered to Americans, which means it's going to be even more heavily used, just like what Binance done with Binance USA. They're all thinking of creative ways of getting around these security laws, and I think that's only a good thing in the long term, as long as they don't start using dodgy practices. That's my biggest gripe. If they start to fiddle the figures or start to do things that work in their favor, not the community, that's when I'll be completely dismissing Crypto.com. So as soon as evidence comes out like that, I will be jumping off this bandwagon. But until that day happens, I'm quite happy that they are doing things with the best interest of the community over the long term, and I like to see that in a project. So we've seen this recently. Apple in the stocks and shares market, they're splitting their shares so that you receive 4 shares for every one that you own, and we're seeing the Apple price go up. So you could say that that's been manipulated, I suppose. So this happens all around the world through different investment sectors. Are Crypto.com doing the right thing by the community, for you and me, or are they just looking out for themselves and trying to avoid a hefty fine? I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. That's it from me, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to click subscribe if you're new to this video. And I'll see you on the next video from myself. Bye, guys.